Hi everyone, today we are going to build a student management system using Java, Spring Boot and MySQL. Here we are going to create a RESTful API with CRUD operation using Java and Spring Boot. How to establish a database connection between IntelliJ and MySQL. So first we are going to set up our project. So here we are going to move to Google Chrome and we are searching Spring Initializer, and there is a first URL is open Spring Initializer. You just click on this URL and there is an interface is opening like this. Here we are going to set up our project. In project we are choose as a Maven, language as a Java, and Spring Boot having a stable version 3.5.5 as today. And we are going to give student management and artifact. We are also going to give which is management. And the Spring Boot having 3.5.5 which as it is. And in our project we need to add some dependency. So here we are going to add. First we need web and then JPA, and we are using a MySQL database. For this we are using MySQL driver, and it is good now. We just generate our project. Just click on the generate button and it will automatically generate, and it will be downloaded. Just move to our download folder, and here it is downloaded. Just we have to unzip this. So just for unzip, just click on the right click and click on the extract all, and it will be unzip, and quickly move to our ID, IntelliJ IDE, and here we have to open our project. So this way our project is set up now. Just click on the SRC folder and then name and then Java. Maven is updated. Now our project is set up now. So first we have to set up our database connection with this IntelliJ IDEA. So first we will go to our database. So first we are going to create database student management, and giving the command. Now our data student management database is created. We can verify. Yes, student management is open, is created now. So here in the application dot properties, we can configure our database connection. So here we are needed a database URL, database username, database password. So quickly we are adding this. URL. And localhost 133 slash, and we just paste here student management. We are giving also a username, password as well. We are also going to add Spring GPU dot Hibernate, So basically, spring.jpa.hibernate.dtn also is equal to update. So what it basically do, Hibernate automatically create the database based on the GPA entities. So this is done. Our database connection configuration done in Spring application.properties file. We will move to setup our. We need some package. We record package controller. Service model and repository. So these are the different layers. So basically, they are going to handle uh, service layer contain the business logic. Controller layer is basically to expose the REST API to the client, and repository basically handle the database operation, and model basically it will handle uh, all the classes in the model. So first we are going to create the student class. Here we are going to create bunch, and here we are going to add some entities. Private student ID, student name, email, and phone number. These four entities we have added now. We can also add so many entities, but as of now we are just keep only four. We need to add getter and setter as well. You have to click on generate button and then getter setter. In one shot you can create for all the entities. It will automatically you can create it. And student ID as a primary key, so we have to annotate as a edit ID, and we are also the student ID as the primary key, so it will be automatically generated. Then we have to give the annotation generated value is that v equal to generated type dot identity, and we are giving one more annotation as an entity annotation. Basically what to do, student class it will map with the database. So our student class is done. We are going to generate a student repository interface. So just student, yes, and we are going to extend JPA repository, and here we are going to give two student class, and the primary key of the student is integer. Student ID in the data type we have integer. So here we are going to give integer, and we are going to annotate with this repository. So our student class and student repository is okay. And then we're going to create a student service. In the service class, we are going to add our business logic, and we give as an annotation a great service. So this is also done, and we will move to controller. We will create the student controller. Here we are going to give annotation REST controller, and there is a request mapping, and we are giving the candidate student. So student is a common URL. It will be applicable to the all the student controller. And basically, when the request is coming from the front end or Postman, it will first reach to the controller, and controller directly call to the student service. So here we are going to add a student service dependency. Then how we are going to use? Just we are giving the one annotation called auto wire, and this annotation basically automatically inject the dependency of student service. So yeah, so this way we have added the dependency. We are going to create first our APIs. Create. We are going to create a student. Create a student. So here we are going to post mapping by giving create publish JSON node. Create a student, and here we are going to add JSON node. JSON node. Waste body, and here we are going to call student service dot create student. We are going to pass JSON node. Create student is not available in our student service. We are going to create. Yeah, so this and the student service we also need some dependency because the student service directly talk to the repository, student repository. Then we have to inject the dependency of the student repository. Same way using the auto wire annotation, we can inject the dependency of the student repository. Yes, and for the serialization, deserialization of the we have to convert the JSON object to Java object and Java object to JSON object. So here we are going to add uh, object mapper. Object mapper basically will do serialization and deserialization. Yes. So in the create instance, basically we are going to create a single place where uh, we are going to do insertion as well update. So here if JSON not having the student ID, we are going to extract this student ID and we'll check this particular student ID is exist in our database or not. If it is a valid, then we are going to update. If it is not valid, we are going to throw the response as an error. So using the optional class, we can check. And pass the student ID. So if optional class student dot is present, it means the student ID is valid. And here copy optional In the case of it is not present, then we are going to throw the error. We are going to return in the response giving the message student is not present. Not available, and here we are going to return the response. In case of student ID is not there, in else case we are going to creating a new student. And as of now, so what we did, if the in the JSON object, if we have a student ID, so we will extract this student ID and we will check in our database if particular student ID is present in our database or not. If it is a present, then we are going to extract this student and will update. If it is a not present in our database, then we are going to throw the response and stating that the student ID is not available. And finally, we are going to set all the values. Student.set student name, username dot as student name, so this way we are going to add some other entities as well. Uh, we added a student, we are going to set email ID. Set phone number. So this way we have set all our entities, and finally we are going to save in our database. Student dot save. Save. So in this way we are done and we save the our data in our database. And finally we are going to return the response dot put status was success, giving the message data saved successfully. And the response we are also going to add the student ID so that we can know whenever we are getting the response by student ID is we are also getting the student ID as well. So this way it is done, and finally we are going to return the response. Yeah, our code is look like good. There is no any compiler error, and controller is also good. There is no any compiler error. Finally, we are going to run our application. It is running now. Yes, finally the Tomcat is started on the port 8080. It means our server has started. So we are going to test. We are going to insert some data. We have to use the Postman. We are giving http column / localhost column 8080 / student / create. It is a post mapping, so we are using we have to select as a post and then click on the body and then click on the row, and there is a open, we have to select JSON. Here we are going to give some attribute of student name, Rahul, email ID, rahul@gmail.com, phone number. Yes, all three attributes added, and finally we are going to hit our this request and we see whether we are getting the response or not. Yes, finally hit and we got the response. It means the data set successfully and they have generated the student ID 1. We can also verify from the database whether the particular data is inserted or not. We are just clicking on the student management. Yes, finally the Rahul data is updated, created in our database. We are going to add some more data. Rohan, Rohan. Yes, the second data is also inserted. We are going to add one more data. Values. Yes, finally all three data is inserted. We can also check these two more data is inserted or not. Yes, Rohan and Rakesh also inserted on the database. Suppose I want to update any data, I want to change any email ID or I want to update phone number. So we can also do that. Suppose I want to update the data for the Rakesh. Here we are going to pass student ID 3 and suppose I want to update Rakesh correct email ID rakesh123@gmail.com. If we click, data is inserted and we can verify. Yes, so Rakesh, previously it was rakesh@gmail.com. Now it is updated to rakesh123@gmail.com. The correct one. So this way we can update also. We are going once again to the APIs. So here what we do, once we are passing the student ID, the student ID first, if the student ID passed, then we'll check in the database. For the Rakesh, it is check on the database. ID 3 is present, then it will get. And here we are good, whatever the attribute we are passing, student name, email ID, phone number, it will extract and set the latest values and save in the database. So this API is basically used for the insert in new data or if you want to update any data. We are going to create 3 more APIs in the next video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for your cooperation.